Hello guys and welcome to RuneTalk. I am joined by my co-host, call me Matt.
Hey guys, what's up? We got two awesome guests with us today, and start off, it's Tim712, or now known as Tim. Say hi, mate.
Hey guys.
We also have Josh UK, the media team leader with us, so hey Josh.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And let's not forget our awesome Power 5.
Hello.
So, Kathy, want to start?
So, let's start with the recent update, which was there was a Squill of Fortune, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong, it's like Spanish, and I don't take Spanish, Fiesta de Guro?
Yeah. There wasn't many updates this week, but I guess we could say this new Squill of Fortune update.
1 second, there's an issue.
Oh my. What happened? You alright?
1 second.
We got the audio pipeline set, yeah?
We should do, yeah. If someone talks.
Hello. Hi there. Hello. Yodelay.
Okay.
I think we've got this sorted.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that start, guys. Definitely a day for technical issues, but it should all be sorted for now. Let's start this again. Welcome to RuneTalk. I am joined with my co-host, call me Matt.
Hey guys, yeah, so and again, I am joined by three awesome people, but start off, it's Tim712, which is known now as Tim.
We also have the media team leader, Josh UK. So, hey Josh.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And let's not forget our awesome Power 5.
Hello.
So, Kathy.
So, I'm going to try that Spanish pronunciation again. Let's see. It's... Oh dear, I should have taken Spanish. Fiesta de
Gueros, I think.
Guerra.
If anyone knows how to pronounce it, send it our way. So aren't these like hat things?
Well,
Hat things.
kind of, it's... I can say Jagex is really getting festive. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of festivity this is, but to get into the mood, I just had chili con carne for dinner, so... But, like, I don't really understand the concept of it. Is there some sort of thing going on in Mexico to make this happen to Squill Fortune?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the thread now. More than a dozen new prizes are up for grabs to celebrate Cinco de Mayo and RuneScape's Latin American Spanish debut. Only on Squill of Fortune.
Only on the Squill of Fortune.
Only on the Squill of Fortune. Right here, on the Squill of Fortune. Featuring Yelps with the Squill of Fortune.
Goodbye, Jagex.
I remember going on and I got like a purple hat straight away, and it was like Spanish, and I was like, it doesn't, in my opinion, some of them look okay, but they're not best looking things.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the time when we had those tattoos on the head thing. I mean, it's kind of pointless. I'd rather have my nice comb over instead of having a bald head with like a random line on it or something.
Yeah, the tattoos, in my opinion, they shouldn't have sort of overridden your sort of hair. I think they should have sort of gone on top, and you still kept your hair, but I think that probably was just the way it worked. Yeah. They couldn't keep your hair.
Probably if tattoos were like maybe on your body or something, like... Yeah.
Your arm.
Yeah, or your arm with like your back.
But if you look at most of the default costumes... Most of the default costumes, though, have got things like arms, so you'd have to specifically sort of roll back to one costume just to be able to have a tattoo.
True.
So, that really any better than sort of the bald head?
I can see sort of why, but not sort of like girls don't go around with, it's more appropriate on guys.
Maybe girls could have like that thing on the bottom of their backs. Whatever it is.
But bald girls could work, you know. I can't remember. I'm sure there was a celebrity who's done that before. I don't remember which one.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it was
Jessie J did it for charity, didn't she?
That's understandable. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I know. I think someone did it for a movie. I can't think who. One celebrity did it for a movie. But hey, celebrities are a bit sort of weird and out there, so you know.
Just putting that out there.
Yeah, just not being blunt or anything, much ish.
On the topic of having Wheel of Fortune, what do you think you guys really would like to have on Wheel of Fortune? Like, is there specific, maybe skill things, or Sim, for instance? I know that you really like combat. What would you like to be on Wheel of Fortune?
I would like it if they released some kind of a token that you get not like the masks for Slayer, but for any really thing. Like kill a certain amount of monsters at this combat level, and we'll reward you with a small, medium, or huge, depending on the levels. That could be a good thing for new players. Same thing with prayer, like bury or put 100 dragon bones in the Gilded Altar, and we'll reward you with a prayer lamp to give you extra. Then that kind of doesn't that really put into the daily challenges that you get?
Kind of, because it could link it up. Say if you were to probably get a certain amount of XP in a day, and they'll give you like a bonus if you do that for a task or something.
Yeah.
I quite like the Slayer mask because I'm not the highest of combat levels. Those masks are really great because sort of crawling hands. All right, it's not a very long task, but it's a quick one. And if you want, I don't know how much it must have been 100, 200 XP Slayer a day for about 5 minutes work.
Not bad.
And with all the template teleports as well that come with them, they're really useful.
Yeah.
Although, what I'd like to see...
I can actually say it.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Sorry. No. So you can go on.
One thing I'd like to see on the School of Fortune as a bit of a sort of a lol type thing would be HP source.
HP source. That would have been perfect for the Diamond Jubilee.
Well, I think if they do Movember again this year, sort of stick HP source on there because they were supporters last year. So yeah, and they could put like fake moustaches and stuff on.
That would be fun.
Oh, no.
Moustaches have become a bit of a fashion statement. I mean, I see all the girls at school with like moustache bags, and I just think, okay, go on then. But and I can see why they do that actually. That'd be quite cool.
I've got a moustache.
Yeah, that's fun.
So I'll put that in there.
I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to come up with things to put on there because you can do what they're doing at the moment, which is sort of following celebrations and things. Really, I really don't know. I don't know what else you could really come up with that would be awesome.
I mean, I want more XP stuff. I want the Slayer, what's it called? The Slayer week or something, when you get, like, Slayer medium maps. I remember one of my friends, or so-called friends, he spent about $200 or something on pretty much spins to get, 85 to 99 Slayer, and I was like, bro, $200 for a game. About 5 spins.
The thing though is that people that can buy.
Yeah.
Want him?
The people that can buy, 200 spins. I mean, either they have a really, the job that really pays for it, and they don't really have time to play the game like as they want to, or they could just, have $200 and they'll be like, I have nothing else I want to spend on, so let's buy something fun. And from my opinion, Slayer is probably one of the slowest skills in the game. Just because of the sheer thing that you need to kill a monster, and if you get a really annoying monster, it can take forever. If you don't really good how to do it. So if you want to spend $200 from wasting two months, then I feel like it's up to the person. And that's kind of why I like that they released the spins. I'm not really liking it, but they've done a lot to it to improve it. I remember when it first came out, you had like a 50% chance of getting a medium lamp.
Yeah.
And that was really overrated. Now it's like, you go there now and you probably get a small cash bag or, something fun, like a burrito that I keep getting.
A burrito.
And it's like, sure, it's a fun thing. And, how they did it it's a lot better now because you can't really buy the experience as you could when they released it.
The main purpose of School of Fortune was meant to be like a little fun thing to start off your gaming session. That just doesn't go again. it's not meant
Yeah.
to give you a massive benefit. It's like, here, take a massive divine. Nothing's wrong there.
Yeah.
But of course, the extremely lucky people would get a divine. But the main purpose of School of Fortune was to either give you cosmetic overrides or little things that would assist you, maybe that like the little tiny things that you wouldn't expect to get.
And there's actually some outfits on School of Fortune which actually are good. You know, when warbands first came out, they released, well, it wasn't like some Armadillo looking and Thanos looking.
It's still in the School of Fortune. I think I can find it.
Archeon and Warlord, I think I've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing the Warlord right now, and I feel like, you know, that was a cool thing.
When I got
Because,
one, I got the Archeon Tassets, and when it said Tassets, I thought I got Bandos Tassets, and I was like, oh my god! And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I quite like.
Old Jagex.
I think School of Fortune, it's like most at start with people like, oh god, but they've done it up a bit, and it's like you get 2 spins or 3, and it's almost worth it because it's like there's no point complaining because you do get something from it. And I mean, whilst like $200 or £200, I would love that money. You know, that's half my rent, or like put it towards a new laptop. But you know, if they have it, you know, what else are they meant to spend it on if they have 200 quid lying around and that's their normal state of how much money they've got, you know?
Yeah. Like, I agree with that part. That, you know, if you have that amount of money that you don't want to spend on anything and you don't have time to play RuneScape, then, you know, you might, it's like, you actually help, buy spins, you know. Jagex approved of this message. Buy spins.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you have the money for it, I mean, if it's up to the person himself. I mean, Jagex isn't forcing anyone to buy spins.
That is true.
I mean, it's the thing, you know, you can buy things, you know, for real life money in RuneScape now, which is really funny.
Exactly.
But, like, it's not funny, but it's actually good. I like the cosmetic, you know.
It's kind of like,
So,
I remember, it's like, sure, the School of Fortune, that's why they don't give the School of Fortune a massive benefit thing out of it, because it's like in those games, like, for instance, Candy Crush. I know some people actually made it up to, like, level 200, and they've only made it up that way because they've actually bought the items off, like, they've actually bought with their real money to buy, like, add-ons and stuff, but sure, Jagex gives the people the opportunity to say yes or no to this without giving them a serious benefit, but the thing is, within other games, they actually perpetrate you to buying the items so you can keep on advancing, but as for Jagex, the School of Fortune wouldn't work that way, so it's like, you know what, you can make the choice to buy this, but it won't give you any massive benefit, it's really up to you. The main purpose of it is just for fun.
Yeah. Ferent forces to make the bots work harder, the lamps from School of Fortune can give bonus XP instead of actual XP. That's a decent idea, but they've done sort of all kinds of things like that. But I think if we now move on to our second one, which is the confirmation of the divination skill, which also goes with Abernix. What do you expect the new skill divination to be like? And were you surprised by the new skill? I personally was surprised. But what about you guys?
Actually, does anyone here really know what divination? All I know that divination is to be connected with the gods, but do you guys know anything specific about how divination would actually work?
No.
I've been going through it in my head and I just can't figure it out. In my head, I can't figure out how such a skill would work. I don't know if anyone else has got that problem.
I don't know where it would work, but I know where it's originally coming from, because if you guys have put your what's the Grandmaster Quest that came out? I forgot what it's called.
The World Wakes.
That's it, World Wakes. If you play through that, at the very end, you do get some, sorry, spoiler here, you do get some sort of godly power. So
and you would get to use that.
And you get to
you
use
have
that.
to finish this Wakes for the new skill then?
That would make a lot of sense with why they've made the requirements so low.
But
no.
Gothics did give you...
In the behind the scenes, they did say they were making the requirements very low so that it was accessible to as many people as possible. So, making the World Wakes a requirement, I think some skillers might be upset because it does have a combat requirement, but I don't think it would be unreasonable for them to say, okay, it's a requirement.
The thing is, though, that if you look at it, if you've done it, spoiler here, when you first go down into the cave, you have to fight Armadillo. And I mean, if you're a level 3 skiller, there isn't a way you're gonna kill it.
Not at all.
There's 100.
You can't punch it.
There's 140 combat requirement.
Yeah,
for
so
the
there
quests,
isn't a way.
It wouldn't really work out in the end, because making a quest for skill, is there any other quest or skill right now that's like directly linked to a quest?
Well,
You're forced
yeah.
to do this.
Sniping through a couple.
Summoning.
Yeah,
No,
summoning-
they've released them, I believe. With the Bertholdt and Tavernier
Yes, they
update,
have.
they've released them all
Yes.
from the quests. So
Yeah.
it's like with Mauritania now, you no longer require Priest in Peril to get in there. They've unlocked that area for anyone. You don't have to do the quests. So no, apparently no more is there anything like that. But that's not to say they won't do it again, because they have done it in the past. Nothing of that high level, but
Yeah, because having 140.
yeah, that is quite a
So
high.
that points out crafting used to have a quest requirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, 140 is quite high. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to kill Armador, and I'm like nearly 160. But then again, the mole. But I don't think it's fair for them. You might get some sort of like bonus if you've completed World Wake, though.
Yeah, actually that might have been the case, because I'm not sure if this is small, but Gothics did give you a certain power. He didn't say you could rule it, because pretty much when you get the title it says you're a world guardian. You're not an actual god. He just gives you an ability to do something. But as an adventurer, of course, this is a gathering skill, and as an adventurer, there are many possibilities to how this could help at all. You could just be a normal adventurer passing through his like, and then you could carry on this skill, but it has to be linked to somewhat reality. You can't just be like a random explosions, be like, oh, now a god or something. But I've been sniping a few YouTube comments, and it said that it might relate to prayer, because since it has a lot to relate to with gods, that's what confused me, because going back to what Deathslayer said, that the act of divination is to gather information, but and then if you would link that to, like, that with being with the gods, how do you think that would work out? So, like, to find out information with the gods.
That could be taken
feel-
in many ways. I think it's a very open-ended. I mean, you could use it for something similar to the treasure trails. You know, you're looking around for things. You've got to go and do this here, this there, or it could be as simple as something as, say, trading information in some way. You know, it's a very open-ended thing for me in my head, and it's not something I can really. I've really got no clue how they're going to come up with it.
Yeah. I have to say, when you look at...
Go ahead.
Sorry. I forgot what I was going to say now. Sorry. Continue.
I can see how they might fit it in. Like, you know, you've got sort of those quests where you search things. They could have sort of like areas that sort of like you search and find sort of like, and you could have like books and, you know, information. I can see where they have the gathering of information from. What I can't see is where you would use it or how it would become like interesting, or how even you'd be able to level it up. I can see it being a mini game.
Engineering.
Dungeoneering.
I was gonna say it.
Dungeoneering is...
Yeah, but I can see it being a mini game. But I can't personally see it becoming a skill, although sort of Jagex. It's like no one thought of divination. I did say nobody thinks
Yeah.
it's as obvious as we
Yeah.
thought it would be. But I'm just gonna say, Kevy says, do you think the max level will be 99 or 100?
I can really approve of this question, because if you look at Dungeoneering, it was set to 120 because due to the amount of flaws that they've already made, and as you can see through other skills, there isn't anything else you could achieve after getting 99. You can't catch a massive fish. We already catch a rocktail, but you can't catch anything bigger, and Dungeoneering goes down to 120 due to the amount of flaws there are. You just keep... Dungeoneering is like discovering. It keeps going and going and going until where it ends. But as for divination, that's what we don't know, because it may just be up to 200, we don't know that. But due to also, like, if you think of it, XP rates and stuff, it falls into the hands of XP versus kind of information we're getting. But through my honest opinion, I think it may just be 99.
Yeah, 120 is a lot. sort of like Dungeoneering had the facts, information, and that's why Dungeoneering had the story behind it, which is why it was made 120 to fit it all in. I don't think they'd do that again, although Divination, you can see the reasoning behind 120, whereas like Matt said, fishing, 120 fishing, what would you get out of it? And that's a whole new
Catch
fish.
a whale.
Yeah, catch a whale, best food. Have a whale in your bag and heal you for full HP.
Oh god.
I'd
Logic.
not expect them to do 120 because there's going to be 2 skills. So all the content they've got, somehow there's going to be another skill that's going to have to be related to divination, and that's some sort of processing skill. So I don't think they're going to have the same trouble they had with Dungeoneering, in that they're going to run out of levels for content because they've got 2 skills to spread it across.
The thing that I have to say is that when we're now talking about the scale and how, if then another skill is going to be 120, I've heard a lot of people that I've talked to saying, why don't they make all the skills 120? But the thing is that, well, there isn't really much of a point anymore, is there? Because if you look at the certain people, a lot of people already have like 200 mil in attack. If they just increase it to 120, they would already have 120 attack instantly.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't be anything new for them. And when you're talking about, the new skill and how it's going to be related to gods, what about a new prayer? How it's distributing chaos prayer leveling methods for low people. Maybe that, I'm not really sure how it would work because I still haven't done it because it hasn't been released, but I think that might have something to do, and you might get some information about the new skill. Because,
the problem...
Sorry,
the problem with 120 is when I first joined the game, you got to about 80 in a level, and there was nothing left until you got to 99 in the skill cave.
Yeah.
Like, as I've played the game, they've introduced more stuff. Like, they've introduced higher level things, they've introduced mini-games, and so they've just about balanced it right. If they introduce 120 to everything, they have to do that all over again.
Yeah, and that would be really bad.
Yeah, I mean, 120 is about, I don't know how much XP it is, it's about
104 mil.
Wow.
In Dutch. Yeah, 104 mil.
Wow.
And when you think about it, Dungeoneering is actually, you can understand why people have 200 mil in Dungeoneering, because not only are you doing it for chaotics, you're also doing it for other things. You can get like scrolls and other
there's
prayers,
amazing bonuses you can get from them.
Yeah, and not only that, like if you're really into the history and think about Demonheim, you could really, you could go down to the last floor and get every single book and read them.
Exactly. Yeah,
and you'll get the story about it. Then you can do the sagas and you'll learn everything.
It's like a whole different lore to RuneScape by itself, all with one skill.
Yeah, and it's up to the player itself to find out the lore. Nobody else can do it for them. It isn't written down. Well, it is on the internet, but if you want real experience for yourself, like questing
stuff, it's like kind of finding out cheats or something. It's like, why not just find it out all by yourself?
Yes.
I think also Dungeoneering, the XP rates are reasonably high enough that they can set it to 120. If they did set another skill to 120, if you think about the XP rates you get now for attack, it would take you a lot of time to reach that max XP.
Yeah,
compared to Dungeoneering, it would take you a lot of time, and I think if they were going to bring things up to 120, they'd have to somehow make your XP rates go up, or introduce new armors that make your XP rates go up because you're hitting harder, or something like that, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. I looked into my friend who is 119 dunge, and per floor, like, max score he can do with all of them, prestige and everything, I think that's what you call it, C1's done, he gets roughly around 250k XP for one floor.
And I know that those people can get they can finish a large floor in about, 15 minutes?
15 minutes, and for me it takes like solo 20 minutes for medium floor.
Yeah.
On Dunge 85. So, for me, I get maybe 20k. For them, they get 250. And they can get, if they do 10 floors in one day, they basically just got 2.5 mil XP. And, for them, they're doing it for 120 dunge, but they're getting it at such a speed that it really doesn't matter to them They just want to finish the floor and be done with it and continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of dungeoneering. I can get into it at certain, but I just can't. I can't see myself being able to actually do it. Though I get told it is so much better when you get to like 80 plus.
It is. I'm 85 and it goes so much faster.
Yeah, I'm just not really into the whole killing thing. I've never really been let's go bash this monster. There's a few of my friends, my mother in particular, sort of like bashing things. That's what she likes the game of. And I'm just like, no. I like my construction, building my house.
So you're more of a skiller.
Yeah.
You're more of a skiller than...
Yeah, but I like being able to do everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never be able to, just because I like my quests as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not very good at quests, like, I have to use a quest guide.
Yeah. The thing is, though...
So, like, yeah.
The thing is, you look at now, I can probably assume that 98% of people playing RuneScape are using a guide, because Desert Treasure, it took me 1 hour to do it with a guide, and if you didn't use a guide, it could take you forever. I couldn't imagine people doing quests back in the day when there wasn't a guide.
There's only one guide I think I'd absolutely need a sort of quest guide for, and that's probably Elemental Workshop Part 3. And
Yes.
the only reason I'd ever need a guide for that is simply because I don't understand how the whole thing works. If I understood how it works, I could probably figure out how to do it. But for me, when I was doing that quest, I just could never understand the logic of how the thing worked. And there was never very many hints on how it worked. But to be honest, the rest of the guides, if you know where you're looking, if you look in your quest journal, if you look at all the hints from people talking, because a lot of people don't read what they say. They just sort of get through it because they're following a guide.
Put hands up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not massively hard. It's just a case of paying attention to all the right hints and going.
That's what I'm bad at.
That said, if you get stuck, then looking at a guide to put you on the right course again is usually good enough to keep you going.
Yeah, I don't understand how things work usually though. Like, I'm really bad at riddles and stuff, which is why the content event. So I got the first one. I was really proud of myself, but I haven't got any of them since.
Today,
but I'm,
anyone, I would be very
the
proud.
last one's today, so make sure you go check that out. It's pinned in the chat box. But no, I'm thankful for the content team because their guides help me out massively. Like, right, I'm gonna do this quest so I can access this place.
Yeah.
I'll start it and then think I can do this. Guide time.
The Rune Zone guides are amazing.
They are.
They truly are. They're like the work they put into it. Like, I look on other sites, I'm not gonna say the names, but I look on other sites and like quest guides and YouTube, and nothing compares to how they do it on RuneZone, because it took me 15 minutes to do a quest, which would have taken me like an hour otherwise, because the person just ran all over the place and was like, oh, don't go here, don't go here. But RuneScape guide was straightforward. This is what you need, this is where you go, talk to this person, say this, go here. It was just straightforward. No, side talking about it.
That's kind of the idea of our guides. We as much as it's nice to give you some basic information about the quest, we don't want to necessarily overfill you about the stuff they're already telling you about in game, because again, if you want to know about that stuff, you can read about it as you're going through the quest. You don't need us to tell you about it. So we try and keep it short and sweet and give you enough information but not leave you lacking.
Yeah. If there's one quest I've done without looking at a guide, it was World Awakes.
Yeah, that was a really straight to the point quest line where you didn't. Back in the day, like of RuneScape, you had to travel like everywhere. But I like the quest nowadays where it's just straightforward, straight to the point, one whole line, so you can focus on doing the quest and not just like. I remember just reading quest guides and just getting the quest done. I didn't really enjoy it because due to the amount of travelling, running back, forth, it was really hard for me to concentrate on the storyline itself. But now like, say for instance, what was that? The Draken quest of Final. I'm not sure what's it called.
Branches of Darkmare.
Yeah, exactly. It was all in one town. You didn't have to do much traveling. But the quest before that, it was hard for me to understand the storyline because the amount of times I had to teleport back to the town.
Yeah.
I think another good example of that is the recent rework to Demon Slayer, where before I think you were always running around trying to find people to unlock the sword, whereas now it's all done in Varrock. You don't.
Yeah.
You go from the church in the northeast of Varrock to the church in the southeast of Varrock, and that's it. That's the locations for the quest, and it keeps it a lot simpler.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with quests, I will, like, when a new quest comes out that I can do, I'll often try and do it without the quest guide. But I always, usually it doesn't work. I've done 5 quests on my own, I think, like, in total. And, yeah, I think it's just, I'm just not a quest person. So indeed, thank you to content. Shall we move on to... J-Trig says one thing he's worried about in RuneScape 3 is the hand cannons, is he doesn't really want more guns in the 6th age. So sort of... Josh, do you have any preferences to this? Or guns in RuneScape?
What was that about? Guns in RuneScape?
Pretty much.
Lightsabers.
I don't think they should be there, in all honesty. I mean, a hand cannon is... the hand cannon's sort of like
Modern.
restriction, I'd say. That is more than enough. You don't really want to introduce like M49 swords or like military weapons into the game. That's just not like, you know, it's not based around when the era of the game was. I just don't think it'd be worthwhile putting more in alongside the hand cannon. I mean, the hand cannon's you know, it blows up if you use it too much, and you know, it's sort of restricted to what it can do. But I don't think any more other weapons like that along that lines would be very interesting, because I mean, you've got range, so that's it sort of ties in with guns, because obviously you can like fire at a long range, but I don't think that anything else should be put into it alongside a hand cannon.
I'd agree with that. I think hand cannon's enough.
Yeah.
They wouldn't really go into modern technology.
Yeah.
Unless you completely modernise RuneScape and put like engineering as a skill in or something, which I think we've agreed we don't really want to go down that route personally as players. So I suppose if it happened, I suppose we'd sort of just get along with it and we'd probably enjoy it.
I want a car blocks. Drive around in Wildy using my hand cannon.
Forget horse riding as a skill, it's car driving now.
Yeah. 99 car driving.
Does that mean I can go get my license IRL?
Just get a horse and cart, and be fine.
Yeah. No, but to that point of guns and everything, the thing is though, yeah, I agree with you people saying that guns shouldn't be in the game. You gotta look at like how everything evolves. Over time, it can't just be swords, bows, and cannons. Just like normal cannons for forever. Because at some certain time, it's gotta go forward.
It's all gonna advance.
Yeah, it's just gonna go forward. But the only time I've actually seen a hand cannon used outside of Wildy was at Water Fiends, and he left after 5 minutes after being there just to get his royal crossbow, because there was no point of having a cannon because it breaks.
It breaks, and the point of it is probably just it's low risk, and it's decent damage, but it just barely does. I mean, if it's good if you were to do something like warbands where your risk can be as low as possible as you want, just as long as you reach that damage minimum.
I think with hand cannons, they were more along the lines of they were better when they first came out, because they obviously have that little special attack, and obviously with removing the special bar now, it's just a normal cannon.
Yeah.
When
I
I'm using,
have any like additional preferences to it, if that makes sense.
Abusing that cannon.
It's cosmetic.
Like during. Yeah. I remember using, or I was playing around when, what was it called? Bounty Hunter was still out, and there was the bug with the hand cannon. I used to go around with 20 people, full and void and everything. We used to hand cannon pick people up with full bandles on and everything, like, they couldn't really do anything. Because 20 people, we were
With the
constantly
hand
getting
cannon
dirty.
special attack, I can agree
Yeah.
that it's just way too overpowered.
That was, you know, and I don't understand why Jagex didn't nerf it, or like, they fixed it after.
They did nerf it in some
Yeah.
points where that's why they have made that percentage of the hit. Like maybe if you were to use a special attack, you have a high percentage that your cannon would explode.
Yeah. Which was smart.
Hmm.
Because it was a bit overpowered.
Because
I mean,
it wouldn't eliminate the purpose of the cannon, nor would it like it was destroying the bug, but it was also at the same time reducing the chance of like future problems with it.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to move on to our guest topics now because we're almost running out of time.
Yeah, we are.
So should we start with Tim's? So Tim, yours was bossing. Do you wanna sort of can start us off with that?
Yeah. So, me, Matt, Jensen, and Nick, the Fox, usually, we four usually go bossing together at a
Pretty
lot
much
of
every
different
day.
bosses. Yeah. We go to Bandos Corp and all those bosses, and I have to say that bossing is way too easy. I remember
is.
when we did during, like, before UFC, I remember trying Corp on my other account, and there was no way you could do it with that boss. I mean, you needed a full inventory of, like, the best food, you needed the best armor and everything, and there wasn't a way you could do it, because it was, 50% of the chance you would die. And now, it's me and Matt, we went to Daddy Nut Kings yesterday.
Yeah, and we could
camped there
last
for an hour. We went
longer than an hour, to be honest.
Yeah, and I feel like they need to make bossing harder and easier for the level of people doing it.
That's where the
Personalize
addition,
it.
where the addition of doing Gobble's Dungeon on hard mode was added into the game. But and then again, it did make the boss harder, but it made it a little bit too hard. It needs to be sure they made the boss a bit, they buffed it up a little bit, and they added like a special attack where you had to avoid it, just like the same way you kill Cloudfight King with tactics. But it's not the game. It's a mechanic of the game, but it's not really something that you feel it's natural.
Yeah.
Like, sure thing, we can go ahead, but you and me, Lena, would just kill Bandos. And then if we were to do hard mode, we would last there for probably 2 or 3 kills, and we'd be like, wow, that's kind of a waste of 250k.
Yeah. And the thing is that, sure, they released hard mode, but I know people that can't boss because they're too low a level. And they don't really know how to level up because they have no money, because they can't boss, and they don't know what to do. And I feel like Jagex needs to introduce more bosses that have the drops that they have is lower, like they don't, the cost of the drops isn't a lot.
I get you. I was thinking about
Yeah.
this myself earlier because I'm on my account. I'm 111 combat, and I can't boss because the options are Giant Mole, where
Whoa!
it's really not worth doing because it takes so long, and you don't really get anything worth. You don't get enough from it to really warrant doing it. Then you've got God Wars, which obviously I probably wouldn't meet the requirements for half of it, so I can't do that. That's out.
You need like 70 strength for it.
Yeah,
to
I
get
don't
in,
have that.
to
I don't
get
have
in.
that.
That's why also, they would want to add more content for maybe the smaller levels, because at the moment, as I can see what Half-Life John is trying to say, sure, he's maybe at like level 100, which takes a good quality amount of time to get, but for the majority of people that actually boss, it looks like they're above the 170s to being maxed.
Yeah.
That's where, as John said, it's only Giant Mole, where also at the same time it may not be worth it. That's why there should be like mini bosses, like little new bosses that also give a good quality amount of maybe money making from it. Because since money making is a good method to make from bossing, maybe for low levels, which actually also be worthwhile, that maybe they add a bit more content and maybe spread out more, like reaching out to those players who are like putting their hands up.
The only trouble with this
Josh,
would be
what
Sorry.
So I was just going to ask Josh about his opinion on bossing, because, I don't...
Yeah.
We all know me and bossing, but
Yeah,
sort of Josh, what about you?
In all honesty, since EOC, I haven't really been bossing. But before EOC, I was big on God Wars. I used to go pretty much every day to Bandos and Armado, I think, as well, now and again. But since EOC, I haven't really had the chance to pop down to God Wars and have a go. Partially because nobody else wants to go with me, or partially because I can't actually get online to do it. But I'm sure I'll find somebody.
Josh, you can ask me and Matt. We usually go, so we'll be happy to show you how to do it.
Anytime.
Anytime, just tell us. We'll do it for you.
But since Josh is really into 07, have you bossed in 07scape? Or is there anything that you've actually done in a massive group?
I haven't done anything in big groups yet. I was more along the lines of questing. Trying to get a lot of the quests done before, so I haven't got to deal later on, if that makes sense. So I think I've just done Holy Grail, so I'm trying to get 43 prayer, because I'm halfway through Monkey Madness.
Wow. Combat level?
Level 50, I think. 50.
What?
Whoa.
Level 50 doing Monkey Madness. I
Wow.
haven't done Monkey Madness until I was 106.
Wow,
Yeah.
I agree with Matt. I couldn't do it.
I'm 50 attack, and 33 prayer, but I need 43 for the next bit.
I'm pretty sure when I did Monkey Madness, I can't have been much higher than that. Because
I got to the part where I'm making the gree. Let's just say that.
Okay.
That's going to be difficult. But...
So,
boss.
So me and Matt, when we go bossing, there's always this little problem that I've started to notice lately, which is that the familiars, at the moment, their HP hasn't been scaled with EOC at all.
Yeah.
I remember the War Tortoise had 2,000 HP in RS normally. It has 2,000 now, and I could easily 2-hit that with my roll crossbow.
Yeah, I remember when I went to Hardware one time. I brought my Tortoise along, and since Tortoise is an aggressive familiar, it will take aggro. Grador just pretty much smacked him across the head, boom, good fight, all my sharks on the floor, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, and there was nothing we could do after that, because I feel like if there's something they need to do, Jagex is doing a great job with everything, but I think they might have actually forgotten about just familiars.
I remember, I think, when they were doing EOC, summoning was mentioned by them, and the fact that they didn't tweak summoning too much because they are planning to rework it completely to go along more with EOC. So I'd assume that's probably in the works somewhere, and it's going to happen at some point to bring it in line. But yeah, I think that's probably something they should look at more immediately, sort of tweaking.
Yeah, because
I get what you're saying. Going to somewhere like Grador, a lot of people bring War Tortoises, and to lose your War Tortoise because Grador one hits it is a bit
annoying.
It's
It's not much fun. You're sitting there, yes, we're finally here, and then you short that. Well, there goes half my trip. It's just on the floor. Now I need to leave, 50% faster because, oh shit, all my food's on the floor. So it's at that point, you can't stay. And it's a bit annoying because I've noticed in Warbands every day that, the amount of familiars people bring, and they just killed a Pack-Yak. A Pack-Yak shouldn't die easily. That's just weird.
I think, shall we move on to Josh's topic, just to run this up,
Spread out.
which is 07scape. So I was sort of thinking, is it still popular? I haven't been on many other games apart from RuneScape because I've been playing a lot lately to show people I can do combat.
Sure.
But
she lies.
But Josh, you're an avid 07er. Is it still rather active or?
Yes. Pretty much wraps it up there. I log on every day. There's an absolute load of people in every what's it now? The big Barrett Bank, before the Grand Exchange, the west side, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's an absolute lot of people in that bank every time I log in. Completely spamming up my screen with loads of coloured writing and stuff like that. So it is definitely still active. A lot of people do still play it. I think there's a lot of people heading towards it more now than EOC.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I've only been playing it. I've been playing it since it came out, and I haven't really got that far. But there are people who are already 126 combat.
Oh my.
Wow.
So yeah, shows how much I can actually get on and play. But yeah, it's definitely still active. There's still a lot of people still playing it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't know. For me, it's not. Yeah, it's not something I'd enjoy playing. I'm too happy on EOC to swap over to 07.
I mean, I only play it purely because I was around at the time when the 07 servers were actually there in 07.
Yeah, I was too.
And
I started in about 07, I think. I think actually I started about the same time the save was. It must have been around then.
Yeah.
But
I
still,
know 07 was like the tipping point, so to speak. So 07 onwards, pretty much where all the great content started to come out, like God Wars and stuff like that, and Grand Exchange. And I think it was just, I was playing it around about then, so it was just part of the game, or the time of the game that I actually started to really enjoy. Because I think I started in around 2003, 2004, and back then with all the old graphics and everything like that. But 2007 was definitely a turning point, definitely.
I personally, I started in 08, so I basically started with a modern version of the game. And I enjoy it, but I just don't have the brain capacity almost to play two games at the same time. So and in all honesty, it's just easier to stick on EOC for me. Whilst I do enjoy personally playing 07, I just don't really have the time, especially like lately, because exams and stuff, and so, yeah, whilst it's enjoyable, I just think sticking on EOC is just easier for me, because like I said, little brain capacity.
When 2007 came out, I was really pumped for it. I was like, yes, finally. But after I got on it, and it was fun the first day, but after that, I just couldn't forget how much of a struggle it was at that level. There's no grand exchange. You take that for granted. That you just I need this quest. I need this, and you go there, and it's like, my God.
To be honest, I don't think I struggle massively. I mean,
yeah.
Right now on EOC, I make my own runes for Slayer tasks. So if I'm going to go and do Slayer, I'll usually go and craft about a K of specific runes and things. So for me personally, I wouldn't struggle too much. When it first came out, I did go on it, but my biggest trouble was initially everyone was so low level. They were all trying to do the same thing, and it just didn't work because you couldn't find a free world. I think if possibly I tried 07 now, I'd probably get on with it better, because I'd sort of have more space, if that makes sense, to do my own thing. But I'm just too comfortable on EOC to really switch to 07 to start again. That said, I think if you're someone who's maxed and sort of wants a new challenge, 07scape, yeah, I could see that.
Escape for you.
Well, no, it's. I don't want to say this, but it's a bit more of a hardcore version of the game because there's less sort of bonuses and such.
It's not as easy.
Yeah, it's not as easy as some of the benefits that EOC provides. So if you want that challenge, then feel free to jump into 07scape. But for me, I'm happy in EOC.
Yeah. I think we're going to wrap this part of RuneTalk up. We will be back with a small quiz, however, rather small because we haven't got much time. Don't want to overrun like last week. But I'm apologising because we didn't really get to many of your talk show topics. We will try we do try, but we can't fit everything into 45 minutes. But anyway, up now I have Paramount with Misery Business. Thanks again to Josh UK, Tim, and Power5, and of course Call Me Matt, and we will be back after this song. Okay guys, so we are back. We're going to do something slightly different. We are going to ask just a few questions and each correct answer gets 100k. The answers to be sent in the competition box, please. This can be found where you type in your song quest, drop down box, and it should all be sorted out. So Josh, do you want to go ahead with the first question?
Yes, with the construction skill, what item takes 99 to make? Or level 99?
I have 99.
Quickly click your guides.
I believe Content Guide does indeed say it.
Go.
Oh, hang on. Link blocks.
Okay,
you two of you were
Matt,
close. Yeah,
can
you two of you were close, but Kevin got the answer, which is a demonic throne.
I have 2.
And for anyone who wants to look at the construction guide, I've linked it in the share box.
Congratulations, Kevin. After RuneTalk, I will meet you in game to give you your GP. Okay, so
Next question.
Matt, what do
Okay,
you
I'll
on this?
go next. Okay, guys, so this is a lot to relate to me. What is my second player-owned port ship called?
You did make a status update about this the other
I
day.
did make a
didn't you?
status
I'm
update.
pretty sure I saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
And if you know Matt, you probably can guess it. No.
Oh, Peter. What? Oi!
I think Jensen's got it. I think.
Oh, but
Yeah.
It was meant to be in the competition box.
Oh right, okay.
So
No one told me this.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
no one's sent it in yet. There we go.
Yes.
Excel's got it.
Oh, there we go. That's right, my player-owned port ship was called Hot Ellie.
You're Billy Golding. You'd never guess, would you? Tim, would you like to do your question, please?
What will be my next 99?
He's about 40k away, so congrats for that. But what is it? What is he 40k away from?
I think people better go to their high schools and double check.
And after you get it, I'm gonna have a party so you guys know.
Would you like there to be a specific place, Tim?
You know.
Yeah, no. Alright.
Loads and loads.
Whoa!
Ooh, Jensen's got it.
There we go.
Okay.
Of course.
There were so many guesses, but good luck. Good job, Jensen. It was woodcutting.
Congrats. There you can stop the...
Oh god, are you getting flooded?
It's still coming through.
But anyway, my question is, what was Media Team's last event? So what was our last event? Oh my days, so many things. I think I just approved one by accident.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Congratulations to J Trig, who just got 100 total. So. But yeah, what was Media Team's last event? It was quite fun, in my opinion. What do you think, Josh?
There was lots of money.
I'm gonna go with the Barbarian Sword. No wait, actually no. I should know this because I'm the one who said it.
Oh, Peter's got it.
Peter's got it. Sorcerer's Garden, it was indeed. I think it was quite fun. But anyway, John, do you have one, or?
Yeah. What prayer level do you need for protect from magic? That's the normal protect, not the curse. The normal
Oh
protect
no,
from
I'm on
magic.
curses. I don't know this.
It's everybody knows like melee, but nobody knows like magical range.
I know it.
I know.
Well, yeah, you do.
Hang on.
What's the answer?
What?
Can
Oh,
someone type it up?
oh, you don't. Oh, Kathy, really?
Kathy.
There you
Someone
go.
type it in
That's
chat.
the answer.
Oh my god.
But I thought that was melee.
That's what I said, Malie.
I thought you said magic.
No, I said Malie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it was under Crash then.
I said Melee. Am I going crazy?
No,
Yeah.
you actually said Melee.
Okay, so
See, Tim agrees.
what is
with me.
it?
I said Melee.
Okay, well, tell you what, we'll give a prize for both Magic and Melee. Let's see what Melee thing is. So prayer, Magic, 37. So Undead Crash and the YouTube both win because we're giving out 2 answers because I think we kind of all got confused. So Matt, could you decline all the others? And everybody, if you meet me in Edgeville for your GP prizes, that's 50k for each correct answer. So Kevy, Eggbell, Jensen M, the YouTube and Undead Crash all get 50k. So Edgeville was 83 to receive your prize money. And the next DJ will be DJ Unique. So thank you for tuning in. I've been your DJ Cluckies, and thank you yet again to Call Me Matt, my co-host, Power of 5, Josh UK, and Tim. Enjoy Green Day, American Idiot, whilst and if the radio starts lagging at all, once I've handed over to DJ Unique, merely give the page a quick refresh and it should all be smoothed out. Join us again for RuneTalk next week, and thank you and goodbye.
See you guys.
Right, I am going to go through this recording and I am going to prove to you I said Melee.